everyone. Please welcome our special guests. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you. I'm Mішель Kristoferson. I'm the Director of Admissions with the University of Minnesota, Crookston.
I'm Dr. Oksana Vіланд, and I represent Business Department at the University of Minnesota, Crookston.
My name is Christinою Grey, and I am an adjunct teacher there at the University of Minnesota, Crookston, and I also taught here at WIUU, so dual.
Okay, thank you very much. And so, why our guest here? What is the secret? Can you please, Yulia, you reveal it?
Definitely. The secret is actually the collaboration of WIUU and the University of Minnesota, Crookston. And today we're going to discuss interesting information for potential students of this collaboration. So, the first question probably will go to you, Mішель.
Yes.
Can you tell overall information about the university, about the programs, and all interesting information like about the studying at all?
Certainly. So the University of Minnesota, Crookston is one of 5 system campuses. The University of Minnesota has 5 campuses located in the state of Minnesota. We're a public land-grant institution. We are located in northwest Minnesota. We are the northernmost part of the state through the 5 system campuses. In the early 1900s, we began as a agricultural high school, which I think Christina will have some information to share because she had some relatives that attended at that time. In the early 60s, we became a 2-year granting institution for students for a vocational experience, heavy into agriculture and natural resources. And then in the mid-60s, we transformed into a 4-year baccalaureate granting institution at the undergraduate level, where we deliver 34 degrees, 14 of which are available entirely online. We're here today specifically to talk to students to participate in either our business and or collaborative, as you had suggested earlier, partnerships with WIUU, participate in the Education Abroad Fair that starts tomorrow, and then also to build on the interest of students that wish to continue to live in Ukraine and complete a degree online through our university. So of the 34 degrees, we have 4 academic departments. One is liberal arts and education, the other is agriculture and natural resources, and then we have math, science, and technology, and last but not least, we have a business department too that Oksana will be able to talk a little bit about. The University of Minnesota, as I said, is a land-grant institution in the state of Minnesota, one of 5 system campuses, and we primarily focus on agriculture and natural resources, but also have many offerings in the business, marketing, accounting, finance, and then also in liberal education through communications and criminal justice.
Wow.
Yeah,
Sounds quite impressive.
Yeah, broad variety of faculties, I see.
Yes.
Yeah, and I know that Miss Christinою Grey has some background information. that
Yeah, I
you
do.
will share with
It
us.
was actually in 1906 that it started as a high school, and a small high school, where eventually my 3 aunts, my uncle, and my dad were a part of that, and it was called the AC, even though it was a high school. AC meaning agricultural college, but there in Crookston were about 3 or 4 business colleges, so maybe that's why it was called that. But then in 1966 it did have the 2-year that came in, and then what was it when it became the 4-year? What year?
1993.
1993. So I have watched that happen because I am from Crookston. That's my hometown. And we live 5 miles away on a farm. So it's been fun and exciting to see the development of this wonderful campus. And it's very beautiful in the summertime. The flowers are gorgeous, and the trees, everything they do on the grounds is wonderful. Too bad we can't have classes then.
Yeah, that's true. And I wanted to ask you, do your university provide some kind of grants, and are those grants available for foreign students to apply for them?
So the University of Minnesota Crookston has 1-rate tuition. So whether you live in Ukraine or if you live in the United States, it's a flat rate tuition. So students abroad and domestic can experience the 1-rate, and it's at a very discounted price. For international students, we do have scholarships available. So the students need to be on campus their first year, and then they can apply for an international program, half tuition waiver. Depending upon their eligibility and whether or not it is awarded, they can certainly participate and perhaps get half tuition. There are opportunities for students to receive merit scholarships based on their academic standing, but at this point in time we're very proud of our one-rate tuition for our international students.
Wow. So there is half tuition fee.
There is a
You
way,
can apply.
you need to apply for it,
Yeah.
right. And there are 22 countries right now that are represented on our campus, and so there are a variety of students that obviously are in competitive challenge for those 4 scholarships that are awarded once a year.
I see. And which countries do usually students come from?
Sure. Right now, the majority of our students, I would say, Asia. We have some students from Pakistan and India. We also have students from Togo and Ghana. And so right now, I would say the larger percentage of students would be from the Asian countries.
I see. And are there any students from Ukraine?
Not right now, no, but we're very much looking forward to having that opportunity.
But there were in the past. I
Yes.
personally one student who represented Ukraine. It's been 3 or 4 years ago. So he graduated, so he's successful in his career and working in Alaska right now. So yeah, finding some level of his career exploration being completed, accomplished. So he looks like an accomplished person right now.
And did he finish a faculty of agriculture or business?
No, I do represent business department, so if I recall correctly, so he has graduated with a management degree, and maybe I would be wrong, but I think he also had a minor in marketing. But that may be questionable. Maybe my memory would know.
By the way, so far as like business is like our main focus also, what are opportunities for like WIU students in this cooperation, in this exactly business?
Well, I see it as 2 great potential venues that students may explore. The first one, of course, it's come directly to campus and experience this international life, American culture. That would be a great things to have under their resume, despite the fact that they're going to go back and work in Ukraine, or they would stay, or maybe they would find some other employment opportunities around Europe. So that's definitely well living in the global market. So this would be a type of opportunity that definitely would benefit those students, because business department offer multiple degrees, majors, as well as minors in management, marketing, finance, accounting, quality management, which probably would be some interesting type of degree to get if you're going back to Ukraine. Sport and recreation management for those students who are athletes and kind of interested in this type of career opportunities, as well as in minors. A lot of the students are coming out of this type of experience having double major, so that's basically a very economic way to approach this issue. So you're basically able to get double results, for the almost the same amount of money. So economically it makes sense, and or they can even get the double major. I know some students who manage to have triple major and 1 minor. So yeah, but that's extensive load. So you should be able to remember you have to work really hard on this. Like no any boyfriend, girlfriend, social life. You have to forget about that. Yeah. But the best way to
the results worth it.
Yes, that's probably would be the most difficult part for incoming student, is to find this right balance between social life, study life. So they would have to know why did they come, what's the purpose, what's the main goal. The other great option is to stay here, so in the level of the home comfort countries. So, and this definitely would reduce the cost of paying for tuition, let's say in case of students would stay still at home. So would not have any obligations to pay for rent, any other associated expenses, but then they would be able to pursue their degrees online. And so speaking again about business degree, I know most of the students are oriented in that area, so they would have this great opportunity to take any of those degrees. And add this double major or minors and pursue the same type of degrees, being completely working on a distance, so they don't have to come to campus, they don't have to arrange that somehow, so they would have to show up physically. So they would still stay here, so we would find a way to work with them, so that's would definitely reduce this anxiety and stress about getting a visa and finding, you know, proper amount of money. So it's definitely effective budget choice, I would say, to get a great degree, and you have to be able to remember that University of Minnesota is proud for the name of the university, so by the end of the story, student will be able to get the degree from University of Minnesota, which I'm alumni and proud to have these degrees somewhere support me throughout my life. So yeah, that's a definitely. Basically, you know, when people come to our campus, they're so much impressed by looking at this really wonderful looking campus, really beautiful facilities. They say it looks like you're getting almost a private education for public money. So that's a big, you know, marketing kind of attraction right there. So as Michelle has mentioned, it's definitely discounted price compared to some other private institutions, providing a highest level of rigorous type of coursework, as well as making this tuition much more affordable compared to some other institutions. So this is a great benefits, and it's, of course, we have interesting programs. For many years, we've been technology-driven campus, so all of our students are getting access for the notebook, computer, and it's not just kind of like having some, you know, technological features. It's would be associated with the way how they're going to learn, because many of our courses would have some supplementary required software that they have to work on to complete the homework. So instead of running and getting this type of communication with instructors directly, so they may have a chance to get this feedback immediately from this electronic body, you know, that would help you to move through the difficult courses. Yes, so yeah, so and it's, you definitely probably from a student perspective we do understand this is low stress type of level instead of, you know, acknowledging, no, I don't understand something. Yeah, so it's and it's immediate. Yeah, you used to immediate service. You know, you click this Google questions. Okay, you got the answer.
Maybe probably it depends. I mean, like interpersonal connection is and like talking is very important also because communication.
You would have those type of connections because we have relatively good ratio between, what's our ratio of students?
18.
18.
Yeah. So we have small class sizes. The community of Crookston itself has about 8,000 people. We're located in northwest Minnesota. And as Oksana had said earlier, the technological resources that are available not only to students are also quite valuable to our faculty. When we became a four-year granting institution in the early 90s, was the first time that a higher education institution started issuing laptop computers. We were the first laptop issuing institution in the United States. And so we believe that that also positioned us for the success that we have in our online degrees as well. So whether students wish to come and experience the social and global environment on our campus, we welcome that. We'd love to have you. But for those students who wish to stay in Ukraine or in their home country and continue to learn and love their land and also earn their degree, they can do that in an online modality through the use of our online degrees. And so we have 14 online degrees, and as you said, you know, the community connection, either verbal or technological through the writing, which I know Christina will talk a little bit about, it is critical. So we're in the process of engaging students to continue to be critical thinkers, problem solvers. We're a hands-on institution, and so students are actually learning by doing. So whether or not you're in the classroom and you're preparing communication and writing letters or writing documents to support your degree, if you're in the business department or if you're in our agricultural department, you're actually in the laboratory your first semester or preparing documentation your first semester, working with faculty. So the personal feel that you get, that personal prestigious degree, is felt your very first semester you're there because of the one-on-one relationships that we have with our students. And as we're talking here today in a very informal setting by using our first names, we'll call you out on your first name the first semester that you're there. So it's nice to pass one another in the hallway and address each other as an individual by their first name.
This is very good, yeah.
Yeah, it's very important for business people to be able to write letters and official emails. So, do you, Christina, teach them that?
Actually, no, I am more focused on the academic part of it, the scholarly reviews that they have to do, so it's not so much the email and communicating that way, but how do you find in the databases, not Google, the databases, the scholarly journals that would support, say, a persuasive essay. So I teach about APA formatting, maybe you learn MLA, I can't remember what we taught, but I gave you a history of the campus, but I have a history here with WIUU, and I was here back in 1998, and we liked it here. I was a Fulbright with my husband, and we liked it here so much we stayed on for about 4 or 5 more years. But I can tell you this, the WIUU students from back then to now, you have improved so much. I was so impressed with the students I talked to, about 40 of them yesterday. And I was talking about databases and keyword searches, and they were right with me. So that wasn't true 15 years ago or 10 years ago. So it's really exciting to see the caliber of your student body right now, and how I think you could match what we have in our classrooms and what I teach. So I'm hoping that we get a good number of you people to come over to our campus. Because I don't do the online, I do face-to-face in the classroom.
But it's obvious because data analysis and data storage, database are like technological boom in business industry nowadays. It's like really important.
Yep.
And it's so I understand why
I-
so many people
I
came.
probably could add to this. So as a part of the business degree programs, we have a core curriculum, so sort of a list of the classes the students should take. And one of those classes that Christine had just mentioned about, of course it's business writing. It's a standalone type of class. So writing in your profession is kind of additional choice. And then communication 1, communication 2, and then it would be, composition 1, composition 2, communication classes such as we are in process developing interpersonal communication classes, definitely public speaking class. And so they would be filled with those classes, so just opportunities are there. So in case if students struggle, and it's very much so because it's still skill-based type of classes for international students for whom English is not the first language. So we have a support center such as Learning Academic Support Center where designated people, or they use the system of peer tutoring, that would be helpful to work on the essays. And it's basically can be done not only for those students who come on campus, so those type of services available online as well. And it's not only about the communication class, for example, I teach finance classes. And so some of the finance classes do require pretty strong background in math. So if student would feel some sort of deficiency in that area, so this tutoring services online through the Skype also available, and of course it makes the life of the students much easier knowing that this support is available. So we're always on the side of the students trying to provide with all possible additional resources so they would be successful at the end of the story.
Yeah, psychological help is very important for international students, especially because they come to another country, they face these difficulties of
sometimes they
new
just
culture,
can
like
manage
the
those
pressure.
differences.
Yeah,
So,
it's very important.
so the students that will come to visit physically and to study with us, as Oksana had said, there is a academic success center, but we also have a variety of departments that will assure students academic success and then also social immersion. So as a student, we want to make sure that you're not only comfortable in the classroom, but also comfortable in the community. And as I said earlier, the community of Crookston is quite small, so we do embrace the students that are coming to our campus physically, but providing them many opportunities to meet new people and to learn a little bit more about our culture and the community so that they do feel successful in their social environment, but more importantly, in their academic studies as well.
And what about, do you have some kind of internships for your alumni or students, or do you somehow help them with recruitment?
I should probably start by answering, if I may, that our students been assigned to have individual advisors. For example, I, as a person who represent business department, so I do teach at the business department. At the same time, I have a luxury and opportunity working with our students who are my advisees. So currently, for example, I